तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोर् श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरत्वसे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूप स्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य तोन्मयादितरतश्चार्थेषु भिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्म हृदय आदि कवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहेतुकी। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 19, beginning from text number 16. So in the previous verses we read about Bharatvarsha, which is part of Jambudvipa. This is a description of the universal structure, and it was described here that says Narada, he worships Narnarayan Rishi, and in his prayers he spoke about fixing his mind on the Lord. So there were 9 varshas or 9 divisions of Jambudvipa, and this was completed. Now the rest of the chapter is more description about Bharatvarsha. This is the place where we are sitting. So it says, Bharate api asmin varshe sarichalaha santi bhavo malayo mangala prastho mainaka trikuta rishabha kutakaha kollaka sahiyo devagiri rishamukha srishalo venkato mahindro varidharo vindhya shuktiman rikshagirhi pariyatro dronas chitrakuto govardhano ravatakaha kakubho nilo गोकामुख इंद्रकीलः कामगिरिरिति च अन्ये च शतसहस्रशः शैलास्तेषां नितम्ब प्रभा नदा नद्यश्च सन्ति असंख्याताः. So he says that just like in the other varshas or parts, in Bharatvarsha also there are various rivers and mountains. And then he gives the list of various mountains, and first is the Malaya. This is in South India, Kerala, where the sandalwood grows. And Mangalaprastha, Mainaka. Mainaka is north. Trikuta, Rishabha, Kutaka, Kolaka, Sahya, Devgiri, Rishamukh, and south, Srishala, famous temple of Lord Shiva. And Venkata, this is where Babaji temple is there, Lord Venkateswara. And Mahindra, Varidhara, Vindhyachal, here, Madhya Pradesh. Shaktiman, Rikshagiri, Pariyatra, Drona. Drona is also north, Chitrakuta also, Govardhan is also mentioned. And Raivataka. Raivataka is the mountain from which Krishna jumped. And he ran away from Mathura. So he jumped from this. And Kakubho, Nilo, Gokamukha, Indrakila, Kamgiri. These are the various names. He says like that there are so many other hundreds of hills and mountains. And then there are rivers which are flowing from them. So they are called Nada and Nadya. And these rivers are listed in the next verse. So there is not much comment on this. Then it says, Etasham apo bharatyaha prajanam bhireva punanti nam atmana cha upsprishanti. So he is speaking about the rivers. He says these rivers are very pious. Etasham apo bharatyaha prajanam bhireva punanti. That just by chanting the name, people purify themselves. So, especially Ganga and Yamuna, these are very pure rivers in India. Ganga Gangeti Abruyat Yojana Nam Sahasrapi Sarvpat Vinashyati Vishnu Dhamam Cha Gacchati. Saying that if you call the name of Ganga, even from 100 kilometers away from Ganga, you become free from all sins. Then you go to Vishnu Loka. So, Muchyate Sarvapapebhyo Vishnu Lokam sa gacchati. Now the big Kumbh Mela is going on. It's only because of the rivers. There is a confluence of Ganga river and Yamuna river. So there are rivers all over the world, but these are the pious rivers. So therefore it says that etasham apo bharatyaha praja nam bhireva punanti. That this, just by taking the name of these rivers you feel purified. And if you go and take dip in it, completely purified. So now 10th February, maybe 10 to 20 million people will assemble there and take dip in one day. It's just packed 17 kilometers of area, only human hands you can see, nothing else. So that is because Shastra says. So Sri Vishnath again doesn't comment much on his Atman Dehena Jai. Because Ganga is supposed to be flowing from the lotus feet of the Lord, and Yamuna is one of his queens. And then he gives the name of these rivers: Chandravasha, Tamraparni, Avatoda, Kritamala, Vaihayasi, Kaveri, Veni, Payashwani, Sarkaravarta, Tungabhadra, Krishna, Venya, Bhimarathi, Godavari, Nirvindhya, Payoshni, Tapi, Reva, Surasa, Narmada, Charmanavati, Sindhu, Andha, Shonascha, Nadav, Mahanadav, Veda Smriti, Rishikulya, Trishama, Kaushki, Mandakini, Yamuna, Saraswati, Drishadvati, Gomati, Sariyurodhaswati, Saptavati, Sushoma, Satadrus, Chandrabhaga, Marudvridha, Vitasta, Asakni, Vishwasti, Mahanadya. So there is a list of all these rivers which is given here. Some are big and some are small. So some are called Mahanadi and some are rivers. So now these next two verses are important because these verses specifically give the importance of Bharatvarsha, land of India. अस्मिन्नेव वर्षे पुरुषैर्लब्धजन्मभिः शुक्ललोहितकृष्णवर्णेन स्वारब्धेन कर्मणा दिव्यमानुषनारकगतयो बहवयो आत्मने अनुपूर्वेण सर्वाहि एव सर्वेषां विधीयमाने यथावर्ण विधानम अपवर्गस्य भवति. So he says that only in this Varsha, this part of the earth, that those people who have taken birth here, then performing three types of activities, they have three destinations. If they perform Shukla Karma, white actions, means without committing any forbidden deeds, then they go to heaven. And there is Lohit, red color, which means mixture of good and bad, then they become human beings again. And Krishna means black, black money, black activities, criminal type. Then they go to hell. So these are the three types of destination available only here. Everywhere else, people live happily. So Bhava Gataya Atmana Anupurvena Sarvahi Eva Sarvesham Vidhiyante. So these things are available to people according to their activities, and Yathavarna Vidhanam Apvargasya Bhavati. So these are the three destinations, but there is one more destination which is available, and that is very special. That is, if one continues to perform one's prescribed duty according to the Varnashram, then one can also attain Apvarga or liberation. So therefore there are four destinations available to human beings. Like if you go to Europe, they have lot of these circles, especially in France, right? I see them more in France than anywhere else. So there are four ways you can go. You can go straight, you can go back, you can go right, you can go left. So yet human being, this human life is like coming to the circle, and then you have four destinations. You can take animal birth, next life. People like dogs very much. So you can become a dog or a cat and live happily, tension-free life. In America, dogs have the best life.
Best healthcare too.
Yeah, healthcare, everything. Dog park, dog yoga.
Dog massage.
They have yoga now. And people take the dog to walk. They won't walk otherwise. And there is dog food. And the master has to work. Dog relaxes, master goes to job. So he has no worries where to get the food, pay taxes, insurance, no problem. He's happy. So one can become that also. And you cannot complain that dog cannot do yoga. Now there is doga. So now we are also doing yoga. So that is becoming animal. Number 2 is that you can become human being again. Many human beings think we will always be human being. That's not true. Because depends what kind of action you perform in your life. If you perform black action, you become an animal. If you perform mixed action, black and white, you become human beings. If you perform white action, you become an angel. And if you perform activities which are transcendental, perform devotional activities, you become a devotee, then you don't take birth. You go to God's kingdom and live happily with God. So these are the 4 possibilities available only in human life, not in any other life. Dog has no choice. He may be happy, but he has no choice. He has to eat what the master gives. You have a choice. You can eat vegan, you can be vegetarian, you can eat meat. Dog is, if he is non-veg, he is non-veg. Cannot change. So this is what he is saying, that this is available. So Sri Vishnath Chakravarti says, Asmineva Varshe Nanyatra. Says this facility is available only in this Varsha, this part, not anywhere else. Tatrapi Sahasra Yojan Pramane Pradeshe Eviti Gayam. And that also in that specific part, which is 1000 yojana in size. Yaduktam Vishnu Purane, as it is said in the Vishnu Purana. Bhartasya asa varshasya navbhedan nishamaya Indradvipa kasherusya tamravarno gabhastiman Nagadvipas tatha samyo gandharvastu varuna ayam tu navmas tesham dvipa sagar samvrita. So previously it looks like that the whole earth was called Bharatvarsha. Now India's Sanskrit name is Bharatvarsha. People call India now, but it looks like that previously it was, whole thing was Bharatvarsha, and it had 9 divisions separated by the oceans or seas. So those are listed here, must have been long back. So these are Indradvipa, Kasheru, Tamravarna, Gamastiman, Nagadvipa, Saumya and Gandharva and Varuna. And this particular area, which has this ocean 3 rounds, this is called 9th one. So now only this 9th one is remaining Bharatvarsha, everything is not Bharatvarsha. Slowly, only this part. Yojana Nam Sahasram tu Dvipoyam Dakshinottarat. So this is 1000 yojanas from south to north. Whatever is yojana equal to maybe 3 kilometers, but it must be 3000 kilometers. Sagar Samvrita iti Samudra Prantavarti iti Sri Swami Vyakhya. So it has Samudra or the sea around it. Navmasya asya pratham nama kathanat namnopi navdipoyamiti gamyate vishesasya patraya. So the name of this particular part is not mentioned, but because it is the 9th, it is also called Navdvip. So that is another name. Nav means 9. So he says there itself it is said in Vishnu Purana, Purve Kirata Yasyante Paschime Yavanasmrita Purva Deshadikaschaiva Kamarupa Nivasina Oda Kalinga Magdha Dakshinatyasya Kritsnasya Maruka Malvasya Tyani. So he says in the east side of it there are Kirat people, and on the left side people are living, they are called Yavanas. And the beginning from east, you have Assam, then Odisha, then Kalinga, then Magadha, then Dakshin, south, and then Maruka, Rajasthan and Malwa. So these are the parts of this 9th one. So Chatvari Bharate Varshe Yugani Yatra Mahamune Kritam Treta Dvaparascha Kalishcha Nyatra Nakosit. So these four yugas are found only in Bharatvarsha, Satyuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga and Kali Yuga, not in the other varshas. So earlier we read that there are and this Jambudvipa had 9 varshas. So in other places the situation is like Treta Yuga all the time. And only in Bharatvarsha it goes through the 4 cycles of Satya, Treta, Dwapara, and now we are having Kali Yuga. So Kali Yuga is the 4th one. This is from the Vayu Purana. And Bhartasya varshasya nav bhedan nibodhanat sagarantaritageya stetvagamya parasparam. So this says that this Varsha called Bharatvarsha has got 9 divisions and they are separated by the sea. So just like now we have how many continents? 5? 7. So previously, according to them, there were 9. So because they are all separated by the sea. This is what we have now.
If you put down those in this 4, you're not putting this out.
Antarctica, you could.
Yeah, the rest of it is not going.
So that means in all these places, you have the 4 yugas. And in all these places, previously there was Varnashram system, which is now only in India.
What do you mean the 4 stages of life?
Four divisions: Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and 4 stages of life: Brahmacharya, Grastha, Vanprastha, Sannyasa. They existed all over previously. Then it got reduced slowly.
Do most people in India follow this? The
Now,
4 stages of life?
more or less now.
More or less now.
Yeah, you can say maybe 1%,
Yeah.
not even that. Nobody's following this. It's like dead.
You describe that as one of the options is to if you follow the stages of life, if you follow your duties
Yeah.
in those stages, then that can lead to a higher rebirth or
Right. But now the option which is available is devotion,
devotion.
bhakti. So now only bhakti yoga is the solace. Because Varnashrama was broken. You see, Varnashrama is, India is secular state now. Varnashrama is not secular. So there is a lot of mixture here and you have to follow the state law. That does not recognize all this. So there is no training because to follow Varnashrama you have to be trained in Varnashrama. So there is no
The first
education.
30 years of your life, right?
Hmm?
The first 25, 30
Right.
years are all spiritual
Yeah.
practice.
Spiritual practice or whatever else you do, but you have to understand what is dharma, what is your specific duty. So now that is not being taught. Now everybody is equal. Everybody has equal right. So it is Varnashrama. Varnashrama people have different duties according to their Varna. And they have different rights according to their Varna.
What is Varna? The
Varna is a class.
class, okay.
So you are a Brahmana class or a Kshatriya class or a Vaishya class or a Shudra class. So then you have corresponding duties for that. So that is not there anymore.
People reject this now, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
People reject the classes now,
Yeah, because the state is not following it.
yeah.
Because you have to follow the Indian constitution. So that is not allowed. This is discrimination. There is actually strong movement against it. Because some people still try to follow and they are discouraged. Or it is illegal actually, not just discouraged. So you can believe in it individually, but there is no facility to practice it, the social level. Only thing is that because this was so deep rooted in India, people still have a feeling I am a Brahmana. They will say, what is your, normally use the word jati or caste, so they will say I am Kshatriya, I am Vaishya. People will still talk like that. But that doesn't mean that they are doing anything which they are supposed to do according to them. It's like some people have their family name as engineer, right? Or goldsmith, right? In the West also there are people who have family name as goldsmith. That doesn't mean that he is a goldsmith. Maybe once upon a time. Somebody, so like that in India also, some now is a Brahmana, because previously maybe 100
Great grandfather was Brahmana, yeah.
they were Brahmanas and they are acting as Brahmanas. But now it has just become by birth. And the reason for that is that there is no education and training, so you cannot finish that off. So some people are being taught to not follow it, and they're thinking yes, because they're following the Western model. So they say, no, I don't believe in this.
The West seems like it has such a strong class system anyway.
Yeah, but Western scholars also try to work against it, Indian class system.
Yeah, they work against the Indian class system that I think.
But they have their own class system.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, just look at just how segregated cities are in the United States.
People are educated to fit into the society.
Yeah, and even in the churches, they have churches for blacks, churches for Hispanics, churches for whites.
Yeah, I mean even voting districts.
So they have it, but when it comes to India, then everybody gets on India's case. So, so people in India now, they feel like put in a corner, so they say, no, we don't follow any class.
Yeah. Everybody's equal.
Yeah. So this is the mantra, everybody is equal. So he says that these 9 divisions, they are separated by water, therefore unapproachable. Sukla lohit Krishna varnena satvik rajas tamsena karmana kramena divyadi gatiyo bhavaya atmana svasya vidhiyante. So he says that this white, red and black, it refers to the 3 gunas of Prakriti. Material nature has got 3 gunas or constituents which are called goodness, passion and ignorance. Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. So Sattva means knowledge, peacefulness, balanced life. Rajas means action, control, also planning new things. And Tamas means laziness, lethargy, ignorance, delusion. So that's what it means. So if a person is performing activities under the influence of any of these gunas, then that activity is called as Sattva, Rajas or Tamas, which means white, red or black. And then there is a corresponding result. Urdhvam gachanti sattva madhye tishtanti rajasa jaghanya guna vrittistha adho gachanti tamasa. You perform sattvic activity, then you are elevated. Perform rajasic activity, you remain on the ground. And if you perform tamasic activities, you go below the ground, to the dark. So that's what it signifies. So these are the various destinations. Sarvayeva gateha sarvesham yathavan vidhanamiti varnanam dharmasya dharmasya cha karanam sambhavayamiti tadanati pramyan purvani vidhinte vidyanitish. So yathavan vidhanam apvargasya bhavati. According to the Vedas, one who is expected to follow one's duty as it was prescribed, and then that will make one elevated. तथाप्वर्गस्यैति तस्य विधातुम् अशक्यत्वात् स्वयमेव भवति चकारेण वर्गस्य वर्णनं. And then by performing one's duty, they are offered to God, as Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Yat karosi yadasnasi, yat juhosi dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurusva madarpanam. Whatever you eat, whatever you sacrifice you perform, charity you give, whatever austerities you do, make that as an offering to God. So by doing that one becomes liberated. So swasva karmani avirata samsiddhim yati manava. By engaging in one's own duty, person becomes perfect, enlightened. So that's what is being described here. So he speaks now a little bit more. How does it happen that one comes to surrender to Lord? Says Yoso Bhagavati Sarvabhutatmani Anatmye Anirupte Anilayane Paramatmani Vasudeve Ananya Nimitta Bhakti Yoga Lakshano Nanagati Nimitta Avidya Granthi Randhana Dvarena Yadahi Mahapurusha Purusha Prasanga. So Mahapurusha Purusha Prasanga, this is the key word. Prasanga means association. And Mahapurusha means the Supreme Person, Supreme Lord. And Purusha means person who is the person of Supreme Lord, Supreme Person, which means a devotee of the Lord. So if you get an association with a devotee of the Lord, then your avidya, your ignorance is removed. And when your ignorance is removed, then you come to have that yoga which is called Animitta Bhakti Yoga, the causeless devotion. You become devoted to Lord without any motive. Usually you perform devotion to somebody because you want to get something, some favor. So you become devoted to God without any desire to achieve or ask anything from God also. So which means love, because in love there is no demand. Love means to give and lust means to take.
What means to take?
Lust. So these are opposite of each other. In the lust, one person is never satisfied, always wants more and more and more. Like a burning fire, no matter how much wood you put into it, it keeps on burning. More you put, more it burns. And love is never satisfied also, it always wants to give and give and give. So Animitta Bhakti Yoga means pure love. Without any motive, without any demand. So that is possible only when one has good association with a devotee of the Lord. So this devotion then happens to Vasudeva. Vasudeva means who is living in everything, who is present everywhere. If you love some human being, that human being is not present everywhere. It's only limited to one place. If you love God, He is everywhere. He is also in you. You don't have to search Him anywhere. So He is called Paramatmani. In this body you have Atma and you also have Paramatma. So if you love God, then you don't have to take a rocket and go somewhere. Now I'm going to search for God.
Why would you come to Vrindavan then, I guess?
What is that?
Why would you go on pilgrimage to a holy city then if it's everywhere?
Just to meet holy people. Because holy people live there. So to have their association. That's very important. That's the first thing he said. Sushrusasastadhanasya vasudeva katha ruchi syam mehat sevya vipra punya tirtha nishevana. So it is said that you go to holy place, and when you go to holy place you may not go with the intention of meeting some holy people. But you go there and you happen to meet, then you hear them, you become curious, let me hear what they say. And when you hear, then you like it. So then that's how devotion begins. So Syam Mahat Sevya Vipra Punya Tirtha Nishevana. Or you perform service to devotees by chance. Not that you were really planning it, sometimes you do. So that is the importance of holy places, that is the importance of this Kumbh Mela, that you get to see many holy people in one place. So that is the purpose. So that is called here as Mahapurush Purusha Prasanga. And then he describes who is Paramatma. So he says Sarva Bhuta Atmani, who is the life of everybody, and Anatmaya, and who is not material. Anirukta cannot be described in words. There is so much. And Anilana is eternal, not like our material bodies which fall down after some time. And he is also called Bhagavan, means the Supreme Lord. Nanu kim swarupa aparga kadava bhaved iti apekshayam ahayavasavati. So he says, what is the nature of this liberation and when does it happen? In response to this question, he speaks this verse. Bhagavati param kalyana saundaryadi gunavati. So he gives the meaning of the word Bhagavan, means who has very wonderful qualities, such as he is extremely beautiful. So that is one of his characteristics, the most beautiful. And this beauty, of course, is not something material. It is transcendental beauty. And Sarvabhutanam Atmana Atma Manoyatra Madhuryana Sarvabhuta Chitta. He is called the very life of everybody, which means that your mind will be very much attracted to him. Ateva anatmya atmano bhava atmyam nayujyate prapyattvena atmatvam yatra tasmin yatra atma sevyatvam eva yujyate natu atmatvam atmakyam. So he is the object of our service, and one should not think that we are one with him. Yan mahatmyam prakrita ragadibhir nirvaktu na shakyam. And he cannot be completely defined. Anirukta mahapralaya api yad rup gunadev nasti abhava. Even when everything is destroyed, he still remains. Anilayane navidyate prakritanam tattvanam even nilayanam layano yasya tasmin. So just as the material elements, they are annihilated at the end of universe, so he is not annihilated like that. Ati Pramaspatam, and he is very lovely. Tatopi Paramatvat Paramatmani Visheshnai Raitair Bhajaniyatva Atisho Vindita. So all these adjectives which are described here, they are just to show that if you want to worship somebody, then he is the person to be worshipped. because he has all the requisite characteristics. We like to worship different people, but they may not have all the characteristics. And Vasudeva Vasudeva Nandane Ananya Nimitto Hetuko Bhakti Yoga. And the word Vasudeva is used, which means he who is everywhere. It also means Krishna. Vasudeva is also name of Krishna because he was son of Vasudeva. His father's name was Vasudeva and he is called Vasudeva. Nanu upvarga sabdena rodhya moksha eva uchyate. So he says that the word upvarga is used to mean liberation. But now he is talking about something more, which is called Bhakti Yoga. So Bhakti Yoga is beyond liberation. So now he raises an objection that previously he said that he gets liberation, now he is talking about Bhakti Yoga. So he says, yes, avidya dhvans rupasya mokshasya bhaktau antarbhavat bhakti yoga api mokshadi shabdavachyet. So he says, yes, that is true, because by Bhakti Yoga, the moksha also happens, liberation also happens. When you become devotee of the Lord, you are automatically liberated. But if you are going to go and live with the Lord, you are liberated then. You are not taking birth. You are not under the law of karma anymore. So he says, therefore sometimes the word moksha is also used for bhakti. Although moksha is different and bhakti is different, but because moksha is included in bhakti, so for that reason the word moksha is also sometimes used. So there is nothing wrong. Nanagatinam nimittam yo avidya granthis tasya randhanam dhvamsas tadvarena tadhetunaiva apvargasam. Because liberation means that you become free from all avidya, ignorance. So that naturally happens in bhakti. As the verse itself says, avidya granthi bandhan dvarena, destroying the knot of ignorance. So therefore liberation is also there. Kada Mahapurusasya Vishnu Purusha Bhaktastai Prakishta Sangha Yada Tadeva Nameva. But it will happen only when one has association of a devotee. Otherwise it is not possible. So you can become a yogi, or you can become a jnani, or you can become so many other things without the association of a devotee, but you cannot become a devotee without association of a devotee. See the speciality. So therefore, when does it happen? It says, Yada hi Mahapurusha Purusha Prakama. When you have association with devotees, then it happens. Then also it will happen only if you give some respect to it. Otherwise you may meet devotee and you don't care. So many people meet. So you also have to be ready for it. It's like is maybe sun outside, but if you are not interested in sun, it may be there. You can sit inside. So it is, sun is available, but you don't want it. So that is also there. It doesn't mean that it just happens because you meet a devotee, then it is bound to happen, necessarily. So etad evahi deva gayanti. So because he spoke about the greatness of Bharatvarsha, now he is reciting certain verses which are sung by the higher beings in the praise of Bharatvarsha. So we'll read one verse. Says Aho nisam kimakari shobhanam prasanna yesham sviduta swayam harihi yer janma labdham shubharatajiraye mukunda sevopi kam sprihahina. So Devas, they are saying in great surprise, oh, what great activity these people have done who have taken birth here in India. Is it that God is pleased on them? What is the reason? Because we also want to get an opportunity to serve the Lord. So the greatness of taking birth in India is that one gets the opportunity to be devotee easier than any other place. There is no other greatness otherwise here. Otherwise you come here and get diarrhea or some other problem, right? Rashes. So this is the only greatness. And if one does not take this greatness, honor this greatness, then there is no point in taking birth here. One might as well be somewhere else. So even the higher beings, they are having some desire. So Sri Vishnu Chakravarti says that Amisham Amibhi Shobhanam Sukritam Utsvid Athva Swameva Sadhanam Vinayava Haridesham Prasanno Abhut Etadrish Bhagyasya Punya Janatva Sambhavat iti bhava. So they are saying that how is it that these people are born here? Is it that they have done something very auspicious, or is it that Lord is just pleased on them somehow? So meaning is that simply by some auspicious activity one cannot have this opportunity. That is not possible. So this is only by the grace of God. And if it is by the grace of God, then better take this grace. Bharatajire Bharatangane. Bharatajire means here in the land of Bharata. Nanu duratmanam api tatra janma drishyate ityato vishinshati. So he says, but there are also some wicked people who are taking birth here. So how is that? So he says, yes, but if their desire is not to serve the Lord, then it is not a blessing. So therefore he says, Mukunda seva apaikam hi yasmat no asmakam kevalam spriyai. Because these people have a chance to do service to Lord Krishna, to Lord Mukunda. Then they are fortunate. But if they don't take that fortune, then it is useless. So he says, therefore we are only desiring that. And we only desire, but we are not able to attain it. So the Devas, they say that we can only wish to be born in India, but we have no opportunity for that. So this is the greatness. So we will stop here. Any question? Yes.
What does it actually mean to chant the holy names of Ganga and Jamuna? When are you actually chanting the spiritual name?
What does it mean? Chant means chant. Say it with your mouth.
That's all?
Yeah.
So I'm saying Ganga, I'm saying Jamuna.
Yes.
That's enough?
That's enough.
And what is the mechanism that makes the connection between chanting the mantra and getting the purification?
Purification, first you have to define what is purification. Purification is when your mind turns towards God, that is the purification. And if your mind is turned towards material things, that is impurification. Because we are part of God, and we are meant to have a loving relationship with God. So whatever brings you to that goal, that is purity, that is the pure action. And anything which takes you away from that, that is impurity. So when you say Ganga or Yamuna or you chant, these things are turning your awareness towards God. That's why they are purifying. That is
And what is the difference between the purification of chanting and the complete purification of actually taking snan in these rivers?
I don't get your question.
Well, you mentioned that you'll get purification from chanting the names of Ganga and Jamunaji, but then you mentioned about Kumbh Mela now that to get the complete purification you take a dip.
No, complete or not complete, the idea is that there has to be this awareness. Because if awareness is not there, then there are fishermen who are all the time in Ganga.
Yeah.
They are all catching fish.
And
That's
they're
it.
always saying the names of Ganga and Jamuna.
That's why I said that grace is there, but you should also be willing to take it.
Faith is
Yes.
essential too.
If you put a pot outside and it is raining, then water will fill in the pot, right? But you turn the pot upside down. It can rain, nothing is going in. So therefore you have to become like a pot, to hold it. So that's
So he was.
That- The people that are bathing, all the Hindus that are bathing, the belief is that all karma from all past lives can be purified in one bathing on this day, right? So essentially all karma is gone on this single day. So this happens for some of the people that will bathe coming up.
You see, again, just try to understand what it means all karma is gone. That when you're because karma means that I want to do some activity and I want the result and I want to enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
But if your awareness turns towards God, then you give up that. So taking dip means, that's what it means, taking dip. So if you believe that, okay, I am taking dip here in the holy bath, my karma is gone, which means now I should be devoted to God.
Mm.
And if you are not devoted to God, then your karma is gone, and as soon as you come out, then
You
your
go back to the same.
karma comes back.
Yeah.
All of it?
Yeah.
Wait, if you don't fully wait, why would it come back?
Because you are not interested in surrendering
Turning
to
towards
God.
God, yeah. Okay.
So therefore it is said that when you take a dip in Ganga, then your karma jumps out of you
Yeah.
and then sits on the tree outside.
Waiting.
And when you come out and you're dressing yourself, then it jumps in on
So
back.
just
on.
for a few minutes you're free then. It's God. Then right back to ego land.
So therefore the real dip is this dip.
Yeah.
So that is the meaning, that even if you chant the name Ganga from 100 yojanas, 100 miles away, you get purified. Means you have to take the inner dip. Otherwise you take the physical dip and you are not interested in it. Then it doesn't work. So if you want to fill your pot with water in the river, you have to keep it in a proper position. Otherwise no water. So they are taking dip, but actually they are not filling it in. Come out empty. Come out empty and shivering.
You feel alive though, for a little bit.
It's good for the skin.
I want to know, why for other Bhasha there is only Kreta?
Because there is not the karma bhumi. They are meant just for. Just like when you go to heaven, you go there because you get outcome of your good karma. So the heaven, there are three types of heaven. There is heaven, earthly heaven, and hellish heaven.
Hellish heaven?
Yeah, there are lower heavens also. There is heaven on the earthly level, and upper heavens.
Heaven on earthly levels is people that experience a lot of pleasure and bliss and
Yeah.
really happy life.
And this Treta Yuga, in every Yuga there is a system to realize God, no?
Yes.
So in Treta, what is this Yagya? Or?
Kreta is worship, that's why everywhere it was described the worship.
Okay.
He was making this distinction of Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas, and then he was talking about Varnashrama system. But you were saying that Varnashrama doesn't exist anymore, so he's not recommending that path, or he is recommending that path, but it doesn't exist. So where does the bhakti come? How does
Bhakti, that's why he talks of bhakti. Bhakti comes by the association of devotee.
Transcendental.
Bhakti is beyond the gunas.
You know, there are many people who meet saintly people and they cannot recognize them.
Yeah.
was the outcome of following Varnashrama though the bhakti? Was that the outcome? If you follow
Bhakti comes only by the association of devotee. It is not an outcome of anything.
There's no story of Krishna being seen by 12 different people, all in different light, like one and the same as incarnation of God, next and same as ordinary.
It comes only by association.
Also when
So it
Krishna
means
was
that you have to choose, or the grace has to
Yes.
come, and you have to, when that grace comes, then you have to choose that thing. If you get distracted by something else, then you'll lose the opportunity.
Yeah, not
Yes.
stress that if you have a good once you accept them, it's completely pure, regardless of what they do.
Okay, so we'll stop here.
There's no danger.